So my recap on this weekend, the first event on Paramount Plus of UFC 324, all around the card was pretty decent fights. There were some good fights, some low points, some good points in their fights. Let's start off with Gene Silva and Orleans fight. It was a good fight overall. My prediction was Gene Silva would win that fight, and he did. But my prediction was Gene Silva to win by knockout. He didn't. It went all 3 rounds. It was a good all-around fight. A good scrap battle by them. But my thoughts on who Gene Silva should fight next would probably be either Yair Rodriguez or Yair Rodriguez. I think that would be a good fight for him. Is Yair, or if Brian Ortega is in the featherweight division still. And then Natalia Silva versus Rose. I thought Rose got robbed in that split decision or unanimous decision. I thought Rose won that fight. I thought it was a robbery. In no way, I thought Silva won that fight, but hats off to her and beating a legend like Rose. It's not easy to beat a legend like Rose in this sport. But what's next for her is probably a title shot against Valentina in the flyweight division. If she doesn't get that, then she's just going to wait. I don't think she fights anybody else unless it's Valentina. And Waldo Cortez Acosta, that fight against Derek Lewis was all right. The ending was questionable. It was a decent fight, an okay fight. I wasn't a big fan of how it ended. But what's probably next for Waldo is probably Curtis Blades, what he called for. If not that, either probably that or an interim title fight. What's next for probably Derek Lewis is, I would probably say, retirement, or he's probably going to be a gatekeeper and fight these younger guys. That's what he's probably going to be, a gatekeeper, fighting these younger guys to see if he still has it or whatever. That's my opinion. And then the co-main event, Song Yadong and Sean O'Malley. I thought that was a high-level battle between those two. A good win back in the win column for Sean O'Malley. Love to see it for this sport. That's what they need. But for Sean O'Malley, is to see him back in the win column. What's next for him is a title fight against Peter Yan or a fight against Corey Sandhagen at the White House or Umar Nurmagomedov at the White House. One of those two. But the money fight in that bantamweight division is to run it back with Peter Yan and Sean O'Malley. That's the fight. And Song Yadong, he's young. He might have thought he got robbed in that fight. Maybe y'all thought he got robbed in that fight. Let me know what you guys think. If you thought Song Yadong got robbed. What's next for him? Maybe he faces Corey Sandhagen or Umar, or maybe Davison Figueiredo. If he doesn't get, if O'Malley doesn't get, if he gets the title shot, if they give O'Malley the title shot, then I would give Song Yadong either Umar or Corey Sandhagen. That's what I would do. And then the main event, Paddy versus Justin Gaethje. I thought Paddy he got dominated, but the myth still lives on. Scousers do not get knocked out, like he said. He's a Scouser. They don't get knocked out. Uh, there's nothing left to say. Justin Gaethje is a dirty ass fighter. He he was digging his fingers on purpose into Patty's eyes. I believe they have to run that shit back instantly. If they don't do it at the White House sometime in the fall or the winter of this year, they got to run that shit back because that man was cheating blatantly, putting his fingers in Patty's eyes to get an upper hand and couldn't even knock the man out. But Patty looked good for facing a guy that's been in the top 5 since he's got in the UFC since 2017. So for you to to cheat and not to knock somebody out, yeah, you got to cheat to win this fight. I know you wanted to stick up for Dustin, but he's his own man. He can stick up for himself. If he wants to come back out of retirement and fight Patty to prove a point that Patty doesn't belong, then that's what Dustin can do. But he's a grown man. But you're doing this for what? Anyway, Patty proved that he belongs in the UFC and in the top of the division. But Patty will be back. I think you give him the winner, or you can give him the loser of Holloway and Oliveira, or you can give him the winner or loser of Brian Ortega or Moicano, or you give him the winner out of Mauricio Rufy or Fiziev, or you can give him another money fight. You can give him who he doesn't like the most in that division. You run it with Arman Tsarukyan and Patty. You run that to see the number 1 contender fight, because they're going to make Justin Gaethje, because that's what's next for Justin Gaethje. It's him versus Ilya at the White House. So what you do is you book Arman and Patty at the White House too, to see who the next number one contender is. Or the winner out of that faces the winner out of Max and Charles Oliveira. And then the losers out of Oliveira and Holloway and the loser out of Patty and Arman faces each other. That's how I would do it. So like, comment, and subscribe.